You. I feel like I ain't gone live in a month of Sundays. I don't know why. I feel like for the last 3 years I've been selling the Saint makeup, right? And I feel like, I don't know, like if I don't go live for a period of time, like a day or two, I feel like I miss my friends. Like I feel like I miss my people. Anyways, hi, I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. I wanted to pop on and do some makeup with you because I miss doing makeup together. I'm gonna put my little situation. Hi, I'm so glad you're here. Put this my phone number, so if you want to send me a direct text, you totally can. But also if you comment the word match, it'll tell me that you want to get color match for this makeup that I use, and then I'll send you my color match form, okay? So I want to kind of show you how I do. Hi Jody, hey Jenny. I'm so glad you guys are here. Hey Felicia, it's so nice to see you. Okay, so I want to do my makeup, and I'm going to do it the way I've been doing it because I've really been liking it a lot. Hey, thanks, Amy. You'll get an automated message sent to your DM, and it'll say, hey, here's my color match form. Just upload your selfie. And then when I get off of here, I'll go through and do the color matches, or you can just text me. I feel like a clown. Do you know so many women say that they feel like a clown when they do their makeup? And that's why I love this stuff, because I feel like I hate how intimidated women are by makeup, and it's because of celebrities. It's because of influencers who are like, oh, use all these products, and it can be really difficult. So I'm someone who will be like, okay, I'm gonna explain it to you like you're 5. So if you'll notice, I do my self tanner up to my jaw chin situation, right? And then I match my makeup to it. My makeup looks like it doesn't match my skin, but I want to show you that, yes, it does. And if you trust me with your color match, I match over 100 women a day. I've been doing this for 3 years straight, full time, all the time. So yeah, I'll do my eyeshadow too. That'll be really fun. Also, if I miss your, I have ACOCHDCDC, so brain. So if I miss your comment, please just say it again, because I cannot keep up sometimes. Okay, so I'm using the Shape brush, and this is a cream makeup, but it's not like a wet cream. It's like it's a cream. There's only 11 ingredients. One of them is beeswax, but you see how I pick it up on my bristles here? Does anyone else see the selfies we send you? Nope, it's only for me. Oh, thank you, Gina. I really appreciate you so much. I feel like you have to. So many people are not really altruistic. That's why I always say the internet ain't real. The internet is not real. Don't believe. People show up on the internet, but they show you only what they want you to see, right? So you only getting half my face, Lord. Yeah, so good for your skin. But so this is the brush I'm using, and I'm sweeping into my cream makeup, kind of like it's a powder, right? Amy, nobody needs makeup, girl. We don't wear it because we need it. We wear it because it helps us just kind of, I don't know, gives you a little boost of confidence here and there, right? And I kind of like how this makeup is really light. This is called the Shape brush. And I'm dusting it on my skin. And I kind of want to show you. So I have like a pinkish undertone in my skin. I'm Irish. Okay, so don't pinch me. I'm Irish. Or what do they say? Kiss me, I'm Irish. So I'm Irish. I got a little bit of those pink undertones. I'm sweeping this makeup on. This is not painting like that, like the liquid foundation we're used to. I'm literally dusting this on my skin. If you are a full coverage girl, which so many people are like, thank you so much, Emily. So many people are like, oh, I need full coverage. Totally. This is 100% buildable, and you can build it to the high heavens with Jesus himself. Like, it's fine. You can build it. However, with this particular makeup, the reason that you're not going to need full coverage is because you're going to be using multiple colors. So although I'm applying this makeup kind of differently than I normally do, usually you'll see me applying this makeup where it's like I put my contour here and the brightening here and the main shade everywhere else, which is the idea. The whole idea is that it's dimensional, right? So think more colors, less layers. Lately, I've been doing it like this, where I'm just dusting on my colors to get a light coverage, because I want to show you that even though I'm getting a light coverage and I'm literally sweeping, dusting all across my face, kind of like it's a powder, really, really light coverage, I want to show you how adding those dimensional colors to your face, like your contour and the brightening highlight or your concealer, whatever, a lot of times what'll happen is we see highlight and contour and we're like, I'm not highlighting and contouring. I'm not built for that. Like, no, ma'am, I just give me some foundation, right? Thank you, Emily. It really does. I totally agree. Thank you for saying that. So many people are so intimidated by makeup. So I just love that this that this isn't intimidating. Yeah, I hope that it's really for people like moms. Like my mom is not a makeup girl, but I turned her on to this and now she feels so confident with her makeup. I did a video with my mom. It's just a couple, if you go on my feed, you'll see it, but she loves her makeup now. You can see I've been playing with some new lippies. I found one that was smudge transfer proof. And so I was like dabbing it on my face. It really did work. It's I didn't give it time to dry, but it really don't come off. Hi, I've missed you guys so much. Okay, so lightly sweeping, lightly dusting. So even though this is a cream, it is not gross, like, cream, and you think like oily, and you think oil slick, you think grease ball. That's what I thought at first anyways. So look how I'm just lightly dusting it, okay? So this is just a basic, like, super light coverage. But if I want to get fuller coverage, all I got to do is add the highlight and contour, which is not scary anymore. Felicia, tell her just to call. Is she mine? Tell her to call me. No, don't call me. I haven't answered the phone since like 1792. But tell her to text me. Jade. Oh my God, you have to show me the ruby. Ruby's really pretty. Okay, so this is my main shade. Dust it on, right? Super light. If you are older, I'm 40, and if you are someone who is older, you're 60, 70, 80 years old, you got lines, wrinkles, texture. First of all, that's normal. Ain't nothing but Jesus and a scalpel is going to remove the texture from your face. It's just not. I don't care what miracle someone says, they don't believe him, right? So, I think so too. I need to redo my, there's a lot has changed in 2.5 years. So I need to redo that video for sure. I'm going to work on that. Anyway, so, if you're older and you have those lines and wrinkles, which we all do, especially when we move our face, right? This makeup won't settle or cake or crease or do any of that cracking and all that stuff, right? So this is just going to move with your skin. There's no alcohol in it, so it's not drying and doing the weird thing. Okay, so now I've dusted on my foundation color, or I call this your main highlight, because we want to highlight and contour. This is our main highlighting shade for our face, right? Oh, if you ever get your makeup and you don't like it or you feel like something's wrong, I can always help you adjust it. I have a light on over there that's showing the pink. I can always help you adjust it, and like we can do like a shade swap, or I'll help you figure. Sometimes the color is too light, or maybe it's too dark, or you're using too much or whatever. But once you get it, like once you apply it once or twice, you'll get the hang of it. But totally text me, like save my number in your phone and just text me anytime. I 100% am always available to answer questions and talk to you one-on-one, whatever you need. Okay, so this is where we have the fun with it. So I'm not going to add so many layers, just colors. So I've dusted on my main foundation shade, okay? Oh, Felicia, I can help her with that. I can help her with her shades. It's no big deal at all. Now I'm going to go into my contour shade. So I'm going to take the smaller end of my shape brush. See how it's fluffy? Not super dense. If it was real dense, like those bristles ain't moving, you're going to get a fuller coverage. But I'm just going to sweep. So I'm just kind of sweeping into my contour, just like a powder. See how I pick that up on the tips of my bristles there? And sweep it onto my face. You can kind of already see a little bit of the contour there from like my natural shadows. But if you don't know where your natural contour is, do this. Find the color, or find the contour with your middle finger. So put that in that crease, like in that divot, like where your, what do you call this? Your cheekbone kind of goes in, and put your first finger here, right at the corner of your eye, and contour right there. Boom, baby. Just color in there all wild. Go nuts. That's your contour. It's as easy as that, honestly. So that's like a great way to kind of figure out, wait, where do I contour? Sweepy sweep into your contour shade. That middle finger goes into that like where, right under the cheekbone where it goes whoop, like that little whoop, that little whatever. First finger here, and then take your contour and just all willy-nilly, like literally dust it in there. That's our contour. That's your contour. Just like that, right? So, and you can build your contour, you can do more, you can do less, whatever. It ain't rocket surgery. Like, you don't have to like triangulate the points like a crime scene and how far is this one and is this even. This makeup is like kind of idiot proof. Like, you can't mess it up. I'm telling you. So when you do that little trick, it's really, really easy. So find that little where the shadow goes, and you're going to contour right above it. And then if you put your finger there and just right in there. Literally, that's how you contour. Another way that I like to show how to contour is if you do Scuba Steve. We love Scuba Steve because Scuba Steve is where you put your goggles on, and everything outside the goggles, so like everything outside your goggles is the contour. The cheekbone sounds like I'm telling you, it's like, and then whenever you're doing Scuba Steve or you're putting on your contour, you're like, oh my God, that's actually so easy. So even if you mess it up and you just kind of like slap it on like a toddler with a crayon on a wall, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, like don't color on the wall. Like, it's fine. Like, let's calm down, right? So I'm literally, see what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, there's nothing, you don't have to be like, oh, I gotta stand it. Like, just literally like a toddler with a crayon. Don't worry. It's heavier here than here. Who cares? It will blend so pretty. I promise you. I'm telling you, even if you apply with your fingers, right? So let's say you take your fingers and you just, whoo, and you do like that. And then you come here. This a little much, but like, you don't have to do it this way. But if you are someone who applies with your fingers, see? But it's cream. It's all going to melt into your skin. It's all going to melt. You don't have to worry about it. Like, it's okay if it looks like mud and we just smeared poop on our face. It's fine. It's fine. So what'll happen is, because this is cream makeup, the heat from your skin will soften it a little bit, right? So I kind of went a little bit bonker. It's fine. But when you take your brush and you press it into your skin, and right here we're just gonna wiggle a little contour to Jesus. So blend up to Jesus, right? And we're pressing it into our skin. So when I contour my when I contour my forehead, the concept is creating shadows, right? So I like to pretend that my forehead's a little bit smaller. I also like to put a little dark here where I lost a little weight, so my hair is like a little thinner than it used to be, and I'm older. So it kind of darkens that area, right? So if you have a taller forehead, or perhaps you just want dimension, like you just think about it. When you put dark next to light, the dark looks darker and the light looks lighter. So when you, even if you don't have like a big forehead or whatever, putting a dark shade there next to the bright is just making this look brighter. So that's why I like to contour the forehead, even if it's just a little bit, because the dark, when you put the dark versus the light, that gives you dimension and it makes the bright look brighter. So even if you don't need the dark, or even if you already, like, even if you're like, well, I don't need to contour my forehead, then don't. Like, it's fine. Like, I ain't your mama. Do what you want, right? But the darker you put there, the brighter the bright looks. And so that's what's really cool about this makeup. Like, you saw how I just like literally put it on my face like a psycho maniac, right? And it's not super literal. It literally just melts into your skin. Also, another tip I want to share with you is if you have like this is the shape brush, right? And I just like put that there. If you use the fluffier, the bigger the brush, and the more dusty, the more those bristles bend, the lighter, more sheer coverage you'll get with your makeup. The more your brush is very dense and they don't fluff, like they're very stiff, you're going to get a fuller coverage. So if you have mature skin, or if you just want like a fuller coverage, more glam look, that's what you're going to do. So you can't mess it up. So when I tell you that this makeup is not, it's not mess upable, it's just not, right? So I've taken this dark, scary, weird contour shade to create these, like, if you think of a shadow on your face, right? It's very dark and it's very creepy and it's very like cool tone, like grays, right? So think blues and greens make up this like gray, cool kind of shade, right? Whereas this is our bronzer. So, and this is actually Xanadu. The one, you have to get this one. This one has the glow illuminator in it. So think like warms, reds, yellows, orange to create that warmth. Like you actually went out in the sun, right? So vampire, like super like chiseled cheekbones, especially if the Lord forgot yours, whatever, right? And then the warm. But first I'm going to do my brightening highlight. So think my main shade, I kind of dusted all over real lightly. Then I took this color like a psychopath and put it all over, right? But she just blends in. Now I'm going to take this bright color and it's really bright. And you're like, oh, that's a little bit bright. So what I do is I come from the corner of my eye, down my nose and under the bag. So I don't fill in my concealer in that bag line up to my eyeball. The reason is because number one, this makeup will blend on its own. So it will like make its way into those areas really lightly when you start blending it in. But also that area is it's already textured. And so when you put something really light on a textured area, it's going to show the texture more, which is why if like the older you are, the more you want a darker shade. And it's another great reason why we're contouring, because it kind of gives you like that dimension, which makes you look a little bit more youthful. But either way, like you can really use these bright colors here. So Scuba Steve, inside your scuba goggles is bright, outside is dark. So think dimension. Like when you see, if you hear the words highlight and contour and like your chest cavity like closes in on itself and you're like, it's scary. Like this is basically the whole gist of highlight and contour, is just to make the bright and the dark darker. And it gives you life and dimension and brightness. So don't be scared of the highlight and contour. And so my brush, look, I'm just lightly feathering in that bright color. So what this is doing is it's just going to kind of create like this is your concealer shade, right? But let's be real. Concealer doesn't conceal any freaking thing at any time ever. Okay? Concealer is just a brighter color. That's it. And so I don't know why it's called concealer, but whatever. It's been called that since the 1902s. So, but anyways, so this is how we are brightening our little like T-zone situation area. Oh, Amy, I got some ways. I got some explain it to me like I'm 5 ways of teaching makeup. By the way, if you're new here and you want to get color match, just comment the word match and then I'll help you figure out what shades you need. I want to point out also some of these colors, well, all these colors look dark as crap, but they ain't. Okay? So I'm going to need y'all to trust me. Thank you, Emily. It really is easy makeup. This one, for instance, is called Royal. And this is a color I use every day. This is indicative of most, if not all, of the Saint shades. They look really dark. And they're not. They look super intense, but they're not. So the whole cream makeup, this cream makeup is very pigmented. And it's got a lot of color in a little space, so it looks darker, right? But when you put it on, and you actually put it on your skin, and it actually does what it's supposed to do, which is melt in and do all the things, then it looks like this, and it looks really pretty, right? So what I've done is I've taken my main shade, I dusted it all over. Sometimes you'll see me applying it different ways, different strokes for different folks. I ain't your mama. Do it however you want. Do it however makes you feel comfortable. All I know is if you're anything like me and you're about 40 years old-ish or so, which I'm exactly 40, but still, if you're around my age, you were taught by another 8th grader who equally was a dumbass and equally didn't know how to do makeup. And that's who taught you how to do your makeup. And that's how you've been doing it for 40 years. And we're not doing that. You weren't doing it right to begin with. So we're going to switch it up. But it's fine. Nobody needs to know. You don't have to admit it. Like, just be like, oh yeah, I'd like to try this makeup. And then No one has to know that you're like, oh, that was me. So I took my main shade, dusted all over, right? Then I took this contour shade, kind of put it here in these little cheeky situations and along my forehead. You can, sometimes I even take this brush like this, tap it in my contour, and see that bright white line in the center of my nose that my light source is creating? That's telling me that's the center of my nose. So if I want to contour, I hug that line. That's, by the way, that's the best contour look. And this ain't about like making your nose look small. Like my nose is fine. It's not giant, right? But you can add dimension, add structure to your face however you want. Like in a way that's really fun and easy. This shadow here, this creates like it makes it look like your lip is a little bit poutier. Like hello, look at my pouty. Right? Like it's just fun. It ain't nothing crazy. It ain't that serial. Like it ain't that serious. Like you just gotta dusty dust, and this makeup is so freaking easy. Okay, I'm telling you, it's so easy. And I've only done foundation, contour. So this highlight and contour is done, right? And then you can take your lip and cheek color, whatever. Now I'm gonna add bronzer. So bronzer is what I was saying, whereas like the contour is like the cool gray ashy tone to make it look like we have shadows. And when we have shadows, it makes it look like we're snatched, right? Like we have a snatched face when maybe we don't. And so now I'm going to add the warmth. So we have the cool. Now we're going to add the warmth. So highlight and contour, light versus dark. Now we're going to do cool versus warm. So I've kind of showed you a little bit of Scuba Steve. There's a couple different ways to learn your makeup. Scuba Steve is here. This is our scuba goggles. Inside is bright. So that's our concealer or brightening highlight. Outside is contour, right? And we have our main shade kind of everywhere else. Bronzer is, everybody's like, well, it goes the same place as contour. Kind of, but not really. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do this, okay? First of all, your bronzer is the goggles. Bronzer is the where the goggles sit on your face and it goes, and it does the suction thing to your face, right? You go around here to like the high points of your forehead and the high points of your cheekbones, right? And so that's literally where your goggles sit. So you can literally draw goggles on your face and get your bronzer. Literally, that's all you have to do is draw the goggles, okay? Or you can also look at it like a W. So if you start in the middle of your nose and come down here and go up right there on your face, you can do that for bronzer as well. But I'm show you with my brush. And this is Xanadu. So this is bronzer and illuminator together. If you just use bronzer, then like that's fine too. And you can literally draw. I want to use my finger so I can show you, like you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to draw the goggles on my face. Literally drawing goggles. You can draw them all the way around. It can be an unbroken line. Listen, I ain't your mama. I'm just trying to show that. Look, I'll do it all the way around because I like to bronze. I'm a bronzer hoe. Like I'm a lippy hoe and a bronzer hoe. That's my thing. I like it. Okay, so this is the warmth, right? So hi, Felicia's cousin. Which one's your cousin? Hi. So this is the bronzer. Okay. This is how you can remember bronzer in a way that won't make you feel stupid. And at first, your husband's going to look at you and be like, what in the actual crap are you doing? And you just tell him, mind your business, go away. And then he comes back and then it'll all be blended, right? So whenever you think of your bronzer, it is the goggles. Everything inside the goggles is bright. Outside the goggles is our contour, right? Hi, Kirsten. And then when we blend it, we're just pressing into our skin, right? And at first you're gonna be like, oh, that's so dark. What am I gonna do? I don't know. I'm panic. Oh, panic ensues. And you're like running around like everything's on fire, right? You just blend it into your skin. Yes, you can text me anytime. Yo, when you buy makeup from me, like literally it is my greatest joy to help my customers. So if you need one-on-one help, or you're like, hey, I bought this color and I don't really like it, or hey, I bought this eyeshadow shade and will you teach me how to wear it? Whatever, 100,000,000,000% yes. And this is the shape brush, Kirsten. See how it's like the bristles are a little short, but it's fluffy, right? So, and then on the other side, they're they're about the same length, but it's a smaller space. So when you apply your makeup, think of how big is the area. So like right here, I just need a small area. You don't need this big old brush right here. You need a little one, right? And how much coverage do I want? If you want big coverage, like, then you need a dense brush. It's going to like be real stiff. If you want light feathery coverage, then you want something that's going to bend easy, right? So I'm taking this big fluffy brush and I'm just going to dust my bronzer with my illuminator in it, because it's that Xanadu. And I'm just going to dust it all over. I love the Xanadu because it really does give you the bronzer and that glow. I'm going to Maui next week and I'm going to be there all week. And from what I understand, it's going to be raining a lot of the time. But it's not. My face ain't going to look like it's been raining. My face going to look like I have a beautiful glow and I got some vitamin sunshine. Kirsten, that's a good point. If you have a more petite face, you're not going to want to use a big brush like this, because many people do this. And we're not doing that, first of all. You should always just be using the bristles. You should never bend your bristles. Number one makeup tip, never bend your bristles. Emily, yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you brought that up. You guys, so the Saint just released the Cozy collection. So they're taking the Advent calendar shades that came out in just November, December, whatever. And they're re-releasing them 3 at a time. And so they released the Cozy collection. Thank you. Yes, I'll be happy to show those. Thank you. So, see what I did? I drew goggles on my face with my bronzer. Now, I want to go back to the beginning real quick, where remember I said if you're a full coverage girl, and that means that we're putting on the layers. You see how I didn't do a lot of layers? Like I dusted on my main shade and I dusted on all these shades, right? All of these shades are melting together. So they're doing this, right? They're melting together. So whenever Purple Rain or Ultraviolet. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. I can do the purples too. Oh, all the new releases. Emily. Okay, yes, yes. So all of these shades are melting together. There's no alcohol in this makeup. So like when you do a liquid foundation, you put it on and then it dries, and then you're putting like let's say a powder bronzer, and then a cream or like a liquid tube of concealer, right? And you're stacking makeup. We're not doing that here. When I put color on top of color, first of all, you're using very little and they're just melting together. So you're not getting the layers of makeup, and the longer it sits on your skin, the heat from your skin is softening your makeup. And so it's all just creating this really beautiful, like melted together look. The bright stays bright, the contour stays contour, and then you have the bronzer. Hi, baby.
Liz, get back a little bit.
Where are you going?
Get some juice in you and I some.
Thank you. Hey, will you give me some boiled peanuts?
Boiled peanut? Yeah, I got some boiled peanuts last night.
Thank you. Are they in the fridge though? Huh?
Yes.
We're gonna need some new boiled peanuts. Y'all, I don't eat leftovers. I'm not bougie. I just don't like leftovers. I don't. They just never taste the same.
Taste better.
Huh?
They taste better.
Ew. There are some leftovers I'll be eating, but I don't. One thing about me is I don't like a lot of leftovers. Thank you for listening to the Dating Detectives. If you just started listening, it gets better, I promise. Hannah and I did not know each other when the podcast started. Molly, our producer, found us and we were able to like kind of work together and like whatever, but we did not know each other, so it gets better, I promise. Okay, so first of all, yeah, I don't like. What if makeup is pulling off? Okay, so Kirsten, if you have, are you talking about here around the nostrils, or are you talking about here in the T-zone? Because a couple of different I'll eat spaghetti. I'll eat leftover spaghetti. And a couple, and chicken yellow rice. I'm sorry. Okay. If you have soup, if you're seeing a lot of texture here around your T-zone area, number one, you have to do good skincare. So there needs to be exfoliation. There needs to be like a good scrub. Like you cleanse every day, moisturize, hydrate, like, and then more hydrate and drink your water. Where's my, oh, it's right here. By the way, I forgot to turn on my timer, but I do a 15-minute timer. So if you ever hear my timer go off, that means drink your water. Coffee doesn't count. Okay. If you're talking about right here and it's looking like dry or like kind of flaky, cakey, a little bit textury, whatever. Number one, it could be a skincare thing. So make sure you're hydrating. Number two, if the color is too light on your skin, it will show more texture. So you might need to use a darker shade there, or even use less makeup. But it's usually right here is where we're extra oily, which means we're also extra dry. And so that flaking and caking, especially here around the nostrils, is usually a hydration thing. If that's the case, try where I think I have some here. Saint has a balm, like it's called it's called lip balm. And the lip balm has the Saint skincare in it. And if you put a little bit of that lip balm in those dry, kind of weird, like flaky areas, and then apply your makeup, it will hydrate just enough so that you don't see that flakiness anymore. Another place you can use this, lip conditioner. It's the lip conditioner. Use the lip conditioner around your nostrils and use the lip conditioner right here, because under the eyes is also a really dry area. So if you apply lip conditioner here in your T-zone, under this dry, crepey area, and right here around the nostrils, you will notice a huge difference in that flakiness. Woo! And also just make sure that you're hydrating your skin like often as possible. My color seems to you. Kirsten, is Aura your main shade or your bright shade? Like, are you using a bright shade? And also, you guys, if you text me a selfie and say, hey, I'm not liking my makeup right here, let me work with you on that. Because first of all, this makeup is new to a lot of people. Like, it's kind of novel, right? And so a lot of people are like, they don't know much about cream makeup. I can teach you all the things and help work with you and kind of teach you like, hey, in this area, you can do this. The whole idea is that we are creating dimensions so that we can use less makeup. My foundation shade is Golden Hour. That's mine. And a lot of people are like, Golden Hour, that looks really dark. And online it looks dark, and in the pan it looks dark. But see how when you sweep it on, it ain't that serious. This is a really pretty pink color that I'm just going to dust on the backs of my cheekbones. Okay, so if you're finding that Aura is a little bit too yellow, send me a selfie. I don't want to guess. Send me a selfie and I'll see if I can help you. Send me a selfie with your makeup on, and then send me a makeup-free selfie. And then maybe we can help pinpoint it a little bit better. And I can help you with your shades. Don't forget, you guys, Saint does a 30-day shade situation swap, whatever. So if you ever feel like you get your shades and you're like, I don't know about this, first of all, text me, because a lot of times you've just applied too much. I promise you. It's nothing you're doing wrong. It's just a new whatever. This is new to a lot of people. And then I can look at it and say, oh, that, the lighting is different here. I can totally see that you might need a different shade instead. But please let me take that on. I am more than happy to help with that. And that's what they pay me for. Like, I don't like people just like buying makeup online and just like, then you just never talk to that person again and now you're stuck with it. This ain't that. So I got you. Okay, so I just dusted on this blush color. I'm wearing this on my lips. This is my bronzer and illuminator combined. This is foundation, concealer, contour. I am highlighted and contoured. I have my bronzer. I have blush. So you see that I have the benefit of all these different colors that make it look like I'm wearing more makeup than I am. And so the idea isn't to look like you're wearing more makeup, but it's to make it look like your features are enhanced. Like my brightness is here. So now I look alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. So I don't look, you can look a little less dead. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Okay. And then setting powder, my same brush, my caked on that I was like digging in my contour with. I'm digging in my setting powder, which is white. And look, it's not, because it's not like a wet cream. So it's not, you see how all that dark did not get on my white setting powder? And I'm just sweeping this right here in my T-zone. Yeah, Kirsten, I'm so glad you're here. And I'm sweeping my setting powder just in those areas that I added my concealer shade, just to kind of create just a little bit more brightness and create that like mattified kind of look, right? Okay, so the Cozy Up collection. So Saint released it. Oh, bless it, Jesus. Oh, here it is. So Saint released this Shades of the Season. So this quarter, right, is going to be these 3 shades, and so you get the palette, the brush cleaning tile, and 3 shades from the advent calendar. So the advent calendar that was released in just November, December, whatever, for the holidays, had a bunch of these like multi-tonal shades. And at first you're looking at it and you're like, what the, come on, like who was in charge of this? But then when you put them on, I was like, these are freaking genius. They're gorgeous. So let's do a really pretty quick look with those. Let's see. I'm going to get my eyeshadow brush. Eyeshadow brush, I like to start with, hey Rachel, I like to start with a neutral base shade, okay? Just something that's going to easy create like a really light shade underneath. So something neutral. This is Cafe. Some of you like the Lullaby shade, which I kind of want to use Lullaby to show you that these look really dark. Like this color looks really like purple online. It looks really weird. But I just want to show you how kind of light this can be. You don't have to go balls to the wall bonkers with your eyeshadow shades. Just start really light. You can build eyeshadow. Just tap, like, get your eyeshadow and then tap and blow. It'll get off all the excess and just tap it on the lid. So we're using this Lullaby shade as a base, right? Then this Cozy Up collection is so freaking pretty. I gotta show you. So they look crazy because you're like, why is it marbled? It's weird. It's multi-tonal. So these are actually really interesting. This color, this one's my favorite. This one's called Ember. See how they have the names on the back? This is Ember. Okay, so that's Ember, super pretty. This one is Cashmere. So gorgeous. And then Winterberry, okay? So those are the 3 shades. And I'm going to show you how whenever you apply these, they don't actually look insane. How does the brush cleaning tile work? Oh, that's a good point. So the, Emily, I just sang that in my head. Bring them out, bring them out. Y'all know that song? So the brush cleaning tile, whenever you use a powder eyeshadow, right? And you have the powder on your brush. A lot of times if you can envision powder on your brush, and then when you flip it or sweep it like that, the powder goes flying, right? So that's a lot of times how we get a lot of the fallout on our faces, because we're doing this with our brush, and see how those bristles are flicking. And so it's taking that pigment, it's flicking it all over the place, right? So think of this this is like a, see, it's like a, not like steel wool, but it's like a textured whatever. So when you dust your eyeshadow brush into there, what it's doing is it's collecting that powder pigment. So, and kind of cleaning off your brush. So now that powder pigment is in there. And so now I can go into the next shade without them kind of like transferring. So the brush cleaning tile is just a great way to kind of dust off your brush in between colors. So really nice to have in your main palette. I've always been terrified of using too much eyeshadow. So I will dip into it 20 times. I start so light. So I will like jam to jam, and then I will tap, 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 blow, blow, blow all the excess. And then I will build up little by little. But if you get too much, you can swirl it off in there and it just collects the excess powder. So, okay. So let's start this with, I'm going to start with this color, because this is my, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this Winterberry. I want to use my finger on this side. So when you use your finger with a shimmer, it's going to apply it a little bit more intensely than if you use a brush, right? And again, I always start really light. So this is with my finger. So tapping it on, because it's like, it works like a stamp because of the tackiness of our skin. Or if you use a brush, which I'm not crazy about using a brush with shimmers, just because you can make a shimmery fallout mess if you're not careful. Yes, hi Gabby! Don't bend your bristles. When you use a brush, it's a little less intense. So the pigment is a little less tacky. So you're getting a little less intensity, but you can still get a really pretty payoff. So that's with that Winterberry shade, that pink color, right? So now let's go in. I'm going to go in I want to go on the, like, kind of the inner third of my, just whatever, just do what I say to do. I'm going to take the dense end of my eyeshadow brush. It's like it's not super fluffy. And I'm going to come in with this color, this Cashmere shade. When you get that collection, you don't have to use all the colors together at one time, but I'm going to show you that you can, because I don't know. I'm a psycho with eyeshadow. I'll put together any colors. If you ever get a color of eyeshadow, or you have a combo that you want to text me and be like, yo, Mackenzie, this would be really pretty. Show me how to wear this. I will put together literally any colors and show you how to make it wearable and pretty and not make you look like you got gangbanged by Crayola. I'm really good at it. Ask anyone, they'll tell you. And I'm doing this thing where, like, if you have a combo of colors that you want me to use, I'll put them together and create a video, and I'll like name it after you, and it'll be really fun. So it's just been a fun way to connect with my audience and my customers. They'll just be like, so I bought these shades and I don't know how to create a look with them. I'll show you how to apply them, where to apply them, what brushes to use, and like how to get a really simple look. See what I mean? Look how intense they are, and you're like, ew, weird. But look how when they're on, it ain't that bad. And I used a brush for that. So if you use your finger, you'll probably get a little bit more intensity just because of the tackiness. See how it's just a little bit more intense? I ain't your mama. Do it however you want, but it ain't ugly. I'm just saying, it ain't ugly. So anyways, now I'll use my dense brush again in this color called Ember. And I'm just going to kind of put this in this outer, what, did I do the right one? Oh, I did the wrong dang color. No, I didn't. Okay. Outer corner, tap it on. And a dense brush with your pigments is going to allow you to kind of press it in. Whereas if you use a fluffy brush, it's going to give you that more feathery, sweepy light coverage. So I do my darker shades here and then just kind of like press them in. See how you have the benefit of all the shades there? Really, really beautiful shimmers. And they're not super intense. Really, really pretty. Like it's not like, ew, why is it so like that? Why is it so gross? They're just really pretty shades. And then what I like to do, after I apply these kind of super intense shimmer shades, I like to use my fluffy brush to kind of dust around it, just like I do with my matte shades, right? See how pretty that is? I'm going to add a matte shade, so that lullaby shade that I put underneath everything to kind of create that smooth. You know how like when you go to Walmart and you get the shopping carts and the wheel, and it's got the wonky wheel and it goes and the wheel, and then you're like, oh my God, and you got to put it back and go to another cart. But then you go to like Publix, if you from the Southeast, you know what Publix is, and you go in and it's like they have a cart maintenance man like on call 24 hours a day, because none of the carts do the like they just like glide like on ice. Putting that first base of like that neutral shade on first will kind of create that ice to glide the rest of your eyeshadow on, so it's really pretty. But anyway, so I'm going to take that original shade, that lullaby color, and I'm going to put this right on top. So I like to kind of mattify it just a little bit, but it doesn't take away from the shimmer. I'm just kind of deepening the intensity by adding that. See what I mean? It's not super intense. It just adds just enough. And then I just kind of like bring it up onto the hood a little bit. And then fluffy brush to sweepies. See how I'm using these colors, but they're not super... Oh, Mackenzie Jean, Lord Jesus, I dug my finger into my setting powder. Jeez Louise. See, starting on the outer corner and then just dusting. You don't have to be scared of none of these colors, y'all. Like, you can build it however you want. See how simple and pretty? That's with that cozy collection and then this lullaby color. Like, it's so easy. So I want you to, I like to encourage my customers to buy a scary shade, whether it's like a lipstick or a blush color or an eyeshadow or a Benefit sent me a red mascara that I thought was ridiculous, and it's actually gorgeous. Like, get a scary shade, right? And put it on. Like, get the shade. And even if you're like, hey, Mackenzie, I got my scary shade, I don't know how to wear it. I'll teach you how to wear it and like how to apply it and where it goes and all the things, right? The idea is that you build confidence like your confidence will grow because you'll see that scary shade ain't really as scary as you think it is. And then it'll inspire you to try other colors and other like, more dimensional shades or whatever. And then before you know it, you're wearing this makeup that like now you're getting compliments and like your head's a little higher and like you feel good about yourself and you're not scared or intimidated by the makeup anymore. And I think that's why I like this makeup so much, is because it really does help women find that confidence that like has kind of been stripped from us over the years, right? Like, especially if you're my age, I'm 40. So if you're my age or older, like, you know what I mean? Like, and makeup has changed so much. And then you get used to doing it one way, 20 years ago, but now it's so different. And, you want to keep up, but also it's like, I don't know what to do. This makes it easy. So, if you're new, if you just pop on, that's the water. That means you got to drink your water. Coffee don't count. It is 10 after 8. If any of y'all are drinking coffee, you need to stop. Oh, so my bronzer was I used the Xanadu. So this is the bronzer with the illuminator already in it. But if you don't want the illuminator in it and you're about this skin tone, probably get Bella. But there's like 5 different bronzers and they're all gorgeous. Bella, I think, is the most universal. I even have, even if you're a black woman, like I have some of my black ladies that use the Bella too. So don't knock it till you like, don't be afraid to try the colors is what I'm saying. But anyways, if you want to know like what colors to get for like your bronzer or your illuminator, you can send me a selfie for that too. But just comment the word match and I'll match you to all the colors and I'll tell you like what to get and how to apply them, and you'll feel so good about your makeup. And it's fun. Like, they come in these little pans like this. So they come in these little, every color has a different design on these little tins, and they slide out like a drawer. And so this is like your main shade, and it's all on the back. It has the name, and then it has the ingredients. There are only 11 ingredients. One of them is beeswax. It's clean. And you just pop them into your palette. So all the palettes are magnets. And so you just kind of build it. You can get a little baby palette, or you can get bigger palettes or whatever. The cozy collection, if you want the cozy collection, just let me know. Like, just comment like cozy or something, and I'll send you the link to the cozy collection. But it's cute. So this one comes with these 3 shades, and then the brush cleaning tile and the palette. And then January, February, March. So for April, May, and June, they'll release 3 more of the advent calendar shades, probably with the brush cleaning tile and I think it's a different color palette, but still the little quad palette like this. Really, really fun. So I hope you have fun with your makeup. Just comment the word match. I'll take care of you and get you what you need. And just let me know what I can do to help. I'm always here. So you can always text me. I'm always just a text away. Probably don't call me. I'm PI and no one answers the phone. Don't leave me a voicemail. It's weird. I don't check them. My doctor's like, I called you and left you a voicemail. And I'm like, no dice. What does that mean? I don't know. I have all mine in a giant like plastic Coke bottle piggy bank thing. But the whole point, like when Saint first started doing the metal tins and like keeping the lids, the whole idea was we'll make them pretty so that people won't want to throw them away. So it was like, so less waste, right? And so it was like kind of neat that it was a recycle thing. But also the palettes are made with recyclable materials. So that's why they're like kind of papery and cardboard, but still like really good and solid. But there are a couple palettes that they're the hard plastic solid ones. These are really cool. So if you get one of these, like this is a big like everything palette, color correctors, eyeshadows, setting powder, a couple different bronzers, a couple different like summer shade, winter shade, concealer, lippies, all the things. There's this big one that I put Barbie stickers on because I'm 13. And then they have the smaller one of those, which these are really cute too. So this one is the smaller version, and this has a whole face in it as well. So they're all magnets. Have fun. Build to your heart's desire, as big or as small as you want. All the shades are only $16. So you just kind of, you build within your budget, and then next week you buy more makeup, or you wait a month, or whenever it's in your budget again, and $16 you can replace whatever. Really, really cool. Easy for everyone. I really love it. Emily, you're so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, comment the word match. I will get you your shades that you need. I am very freckly. I barely wear even eyeliner. I kind of want to start wearing more makeup now that kids are getting older. Good for you. You know, it's funny you said that you're freckly because I wanted to kind of show. Actually, hold on real quick before you go. Hold on. Stay put. Let me show y'all something. If you are a freckle girl and you are very, very fair, but you have all the freckles, I want to tell you how many of my customers use Bella Bronzer as a foundation, which, if you don't know, Bella Bronzer is this guy. So this is, and they use this as a foundation. So these shades are cream, right? So super, super versatile. So if you take a fluffy brush and dab it in your bronzer and dust it all over, I kind of made a mess when I took off my makeup. You can use this to even your skin tone and not cancel out your... Have you ever put on, like, if you have freckles and you put on foundation, it matches the skin, but then your freckles now look chalky, right? If you take your fluffy brush, dab it in your Bella Bronzer, and lightly sweep it all over, even if you're super fair, it will give you an evener, Mackenzie, Lord Jesus, a more even skin tone. And then you can go in, so that's just bronzer, right? So give you an even skin tone. Then you can go in with a really pretty blush and just add color that way. You can still use like a brightening highlight or a concealer shade and do your makeup that way. You can still get the dimension even if you're using that Bella Bronzer as your all over shade. So for freckled girls, I'm telling you, you can use this one as a foundation and it's freaking gorgeous. You can still use the illuminator. You can use more of the blush. You can use whatever you want. And you can even go in with your bronzer and intensify where you would normally have bronzer and then just have a light dusting of bronzer everywhere else. This makeup is so freaking versatile. Maggie, most people, like, it depends on how much you use, obviously. With the main highlight shade, if you do your makeup the way that I did, where you put it all over your face, maybe 4 to 6 months. Like, it shouldn't run out very quickly. And then the brightening highlight would probably last you a whole lot longer because you use just a very little bit of it. If you're like me, bronzer every day, you need a new pan. I'm just kidding. So it just depends on how much you use. The lip and cheek shades, it's that much. So like this will last you over a year. So it just depends, but they're all $16. So it really makes it affordable. And then like when you run out of something, you run out of like one thing at a time. So when you have to replace something, it's usually just like $16. And then most people will buy like, oh, they'll, you know, add another lip and cheek color or whatever, add some eyeshadows. So it's really, really affordable and they do last a pretty long time. So anyways, freckled girls, use the bronzer. It is really, really pretty. And there's different shades, like different levels of bronzer too. So don't be afraid to try it. Shelf life. The shelf life officially is 2 years, 24 months. But I've been an artist for 3 years and I have makeup that for my stuff personally, because I don't like, there's lippy colors that I don't use every single day. And so they've been in my palette for a while. But also I'm a boy mom and eat off the floor because 5-second rule. So I don't, and it's still fine. Like it's fine. It works fine still. But it's officially 24 months, but it's not, I think it's like the 15-second rule because the cost of groceries now, it's fine. But officially 24 months. And also if you're someone who works out or if you're someone who gets caught in the rain or you sweat or whatever, your makeup's not going to like come off with your sweat. So that's pretty cool too. Like it's not waterproof, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's not gonna come off when you sweat or whatever, which is really cool. So, but it's just a great way to kind of build your confidence and enhance your features and do your makeup really fast. And it's all in one palette and it's just really fun. Like it's just a cool way to feel confident in makeup again. You know what I mean? Oh, Jessica, oh girl, don't, So if you don't listen to my podcast, it's called The Dating Detectives. It's a little bit of a wild ride sometimes. And these folks, I cannot, if I wasn't a PI and didn't see some of the stuff on my own, I probably would be like, no, there's no way that happened to you. There's no way that's for real. And it is. So it's kind of crazy. But thank you for listening. Hi in Nashville. My best friend lives up there. I gotta go visit her this summer. Thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. I love you so much. Anyways, I'll be going to Maui next week, so I'll be giving you all the updates, and I need to know the best places to go in Maui. I need a good tattoo shop, and I need to know the high is going to be like 80. And before I checked the weather and it said it was going to rain, but now it's saying it's not, so I don't know. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to the podcast, and I can't wait to share more about our trip to Maui coming up. We need some more. Don't worry, Felicia. I have one that I'm editing right now that I'm trying to post those a lot, but like I don't want to run out of stories, so I'm trying to like space them in between. So I'm just trying to like, but some of the like I did 20 years of surveillance, so I have a lot of stories, but some of them are just like, boring. Like there's nothing fun about them. Everybody be like, okay, why'd you even tell this story? This is stupid. So anyways, okay, comment match to get a free color match. Let me know what I can do for you. I love you so much, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. And tomorrow's Monday. Don't ever let Monday keep you down. So I want everybody to wake up with a smile and be like, you know what? It's Monday, and we're going to kick Monday's ass, and that's it. Okay? So I love you guys. Okay, bye.